Hi, I'm Joni Patry, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, today I want to talk about a certain yoga that you're going to want to know whether or not you have it in your chart, and it is called the Lakshmi Yoga. Lakshmi in Vedic astrology is the goddess of wealth, of opulent wealth, riches, money, everything that denotes opulence, really. And the most important planet that I feel like you're going to want to focus in on, well, this is part of the yoga. You've got to, first of all, have one requirement. Otherwise, it doesn't work. You don't have it. And that is Venus. You see, I always say that Venus is the planet of billionaires, where Jupiter, planet of wealth, rules millionaires. So Venus is the opulent wealth, such as those that have airplanes, yachts. I mean, we're talking big money, right? This is what a Lakshmi Yoga will give. Now, Lakshmi Yoga is very specific. The first requirement, the main requirement, is that you must have Venus in one of three signs, or it doesn't work. It has to be in Libra or Taurus. These are the signs that are ruled by Venus. So Venus must be in either Libra, Taurus, or its sign of exaltation, which is Pisces. So in order for you to have this, you have to have Venus in one of those three signs. Otherwise, you're disqualified right off the bat. So if you have Venus in one of those three signs, then the next steps are to look for two other variables. Now, remember, there's different variations, of course, in different books for Lakshmi Yoga, but this is the one I use, and it's very clear-cut. I like using things that are clear. So once you figure out if Venus is in the right sign, then the other two requirements are that the ruler of the ascendant must be strong and the ruler of the ninth house must be strong. So what does that mean by must be strong? By being strong is by what house they're in and what sign they're in makes them strong. So in other words, you can't have them in their debilitation sign. They have to be in a sign that is either exalted or in its own sign or a friend's sign. So it's in a sign that it enjoys being in. And, we're not going to go over all the different friendships, but when you've got a planet that's in its own sign or exalted, it's extraordinarily strong. And if that planet is in either an angle or a triconal house, that constitutes strength by house placement. So it must be strong by sign and house placement. So what are the angular Kendra houses? By the way, angle and Kendra mean the same thing. So the Kendras are the angular houses, which are houses 1, 4, 7, and 10. These are the strongest, most powerful houses in a chart. Then the houses of luck and fortune are the triconal houses, which are houses 1, 5, and 9. So in other words, the planet that rules the ascendant and the planet that rules the ninth house, whatever those planets are, they must be in an angle or a triconal house, and they have to be in a strong sign, which would mean their sign of rulership or their sign of exaltation. So you can look up which signs are their rulership signs and what are their exalted signs. So in other words, the rulership is going to be, like Mercury being in either Gemini or Virgo would be in its sign of rulership. Plus Virgo also is ruled by Mercury, but it's also its exaltation sign. So Mercury in those two signs, you've got it. But so once again, Venus must be in one of those three signs, which are Taurus, Libra, or Pisces, and you have to have the planet that rules the ascendant. Remember when we talk about rulers, it's the planet that rules that sign. So if you have a Gemini ascendant, Mercury rules Gemini, so Mercury is the ruling planet of the ascendant. And whatever planet rules the sign that the ninth house is in. So that means that that planet, you got to look for it. Is it in a good sign? Is it in a good house? So I wanted to show you Bill Gates' chart to give you an example, because this is a perfect Lakshmi Yoga. And let's face it, he may not be one of the richest man in the world right now, but he was for years, and he's mega opulent, wealthy. He's got a perfect Lakshmi Yoga in his chart. So let's put up the chart of Bill Gates. So putting up Bill Gates' chart right here, I have him born October 28th, October 28th, 1955, around 9:15 p.m. in Seattle, Washington. And looking at his chart, first let's go see, does he have Venus in one of those three signs? Let's find Venus. Yes, he has Venus in Libra. It's got to be in one of those signs, Libra, Taurus, or Pisces. He's got it in Libra. So, he's got it, yes, in its sign of rulership. So he's got the first rule. Secondly, what planet rules the ascendant? That planet must be strong. So the planet that rules the ascendant for Bill Gates, he has a Gemini ascendant. See the ascendant up there in Gemini? What rules Gemini? That's his chart ruler. Mercury. Mercury is the planet of intelligence, of communications. This guy created Microsoft, the computer. Does this deal with communications? You bet. So look at where his Mercury is. Is it strong by sign and rulership? Go to his Mercury. It's in his fourth house. Fourth house is an angle. It's a Kendra. So he's got it by house. Is it in a strong sign? Oh my God, Mercury is in Virgo. It couldn't be stronger. Virgo is its sign of exaltation and rulership. And it just so happens to be that he's got Mercury in its own sign in the fourth house in an angle. This actually constitutes one of the Mahapurusha yogas, which is when a planet is in its own sign or exalted in an angular house. And that means that this planet is who that person is. And he's got it. Mercury's in its own sign in Virgo in the fourth house. Remember, the angles are 1, 4, 7, and 10. When you have a planet that's in an angle and it's in its own sign of rulership or exalted, it is a Mahapurusha yoga, which means a yoga of great men. And whatever that planet's about is stamped all over their soul, their essence. It's who they are. And I want to say, with Mercury being exalted in an angle, this is actually called the Patry yoga. Each of the 5 Mahapurusha yogas have a name. And Mercury being the Mahapurusha yoga, it's called Patry yoga. And it's like whatever Mercury's about is who he is. Communication king, right? This is who Bill Gates is. Now, the last requirement for a Lakshmi yoga, and I know some people can have sort of Lakshmi yogas, but they're not going to have the full effect of this yoga unless everything is complete within these 3 rules. The last one is, look at the ruler of the 9th house. That planet must be strong, and it must be in a good house. And his 9th house is Aquarius, which is ruled by Saturn. Look at where Saturn is in his chart. It goes to the 5th house. Remember, 1, 5, and 9 are the lucky houses. So he has Saturn in a good house. Is it in a good sign? Oh my God, it is exalted in Libra. There is the completion of a perfect Lakshmi yoga. And this explains one of the main reasons in his astrological chart that could explain not only his high degree of intelligence through looking at that Mercury, but the wealth that he amassed because of the Lakshmi Yoga, the goddess of great wealth. So with that, I think you kind of have an idea, a simple idea of how to find a Lakshmi Yoga in a chart. And check it out. It works. So I know a lot of you are going to say, should I count it if it's in the Navamsha, if it's from the moon? Yes, it does work from those angles too. But from the ascendant, this is the most personal thing that makes you different, the time you were born. So from the ascendant, it is all powerful. Check it out, see if you got it. So with that, I'd like to close. If you would like more information on me or you would like a reading, you can always go to my website, which is galacticcenter.org. Or if you would like to study Vedic astrology with me, take it to the next level, I have an online university. You'll love it. Check it out. It is University of Vedic Astrology.com. Thank you.